is copyrighted?
That
is the question.
Yeah, Gritika, can you please unmute yourself and explain?
Yeah, Gritika, please unmute yourself and please answer the question. Ask the question directly.
First of all, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Gritika.
Yeah, I am Gritika Pardeshi. I'm working on a futuristic technology, and recently I've got that the research paper and the concept copyrighted. Now I'm wanting.
When you say you got it copyrighted, means what did you do, Gritika?
I'd given it to the lawyer, and I've registered a copyright for it.
So, did you submit it to the Copyright Office, or where did you do it?
Yes, from a lawyer itself.
I know, I understand, but you submitted it to the Copyright Office. Is that
yes,
it?
Yes.
All right, then.
And now I want to proceed with patenting of the same concept.
All right.
So, yeah, but this time I want to patent the whole product, not the concept.
Correct. All right.
So I have asked the lawyer to, get the patent done, but he's saying that it would cost somewhere around, 70,000 to 1 lakh, and it would, exceed more if, it is rejected somewhere in the middle. Like the proposal, it's
not rejected, objected. Let's speak of it. See, if it is rejected, it's rejected, Gritika.
Yeah, like if it's there's an objection, so it requires some this thing. So affording so much money for one patent, it is highly impossible for students like us.
Yeah.
So is there any loan or any kind of incubation or something of that sort that we can get, so that we can get such patents done, is my question.
Yes, Kritika. It was an excellent question, and it will elucidate a lot of things. For example, what I have proposed is that let us take your Symbiosis Skills University. I work for example, I work for the main Symbiosis University. I work for Bharati Vidyapeeth. I work for Pune University. The methodology here is that since you are the student of this particular university, you are fortunate that you are in an Indian university. In an international university, the way it would be that whatever work or whatever project that you have done, is this part of your university project, or is it a personal project, Kritika?
So it's a partnered project.
Sorry?
It's a partnered project, sir.
It's part of the university project, right?
No. Not. It's personal that way, but it's partnered with someone else.
It's partnered with somebody else. Okay.
Yes.
Now, had it been the one way to do it, and you are in which department of the university?
So I am in BSc Data Science, second year.
Data Science. Okay. So you would have probably developed an app or a computer application or something to do with machine learning. Machine learning, artificial intelligence.
Yes. Somewhat related to it. But it's a hardware product.
Yeah, it's a hardware product. Let's take it like that. Now the right course of this is that what we are going to propose right now, it does not exist in the Symbiosis Skills University, and Dr. Santosh, Dr. Sonavane and me, we spoke about this before we started this talk, is that we will eventually set up what is called an IPR cell within the university itself. Then the university itself will take up all such projects which come to the IPR cell. We evaluate whether there is any potential in this particular project of yours, and it's going to happen very soon. We have similar cells set up at Bharati Vidyapeeth. I've got similar cells set up with SRM, with Amity, with Ferguson College, for example, with various other institutes, Pune University, and the institute itself then takes up this project on behalf of the student. On behalf of the student, this would be taken up, and of course, at that point of time, there would be some sort of a sharing or a royalty sharing basis between the student and the university, so that the university takes this up as part of their project. It becomes a joint or a co-owned project that is owned by the university and by you, Gritika. Now remember that the 70,000 rupees or the 100,000 rupees which your lawyer quoted you is actually a very moderate amount. Normally, in the Indian context, getting a patent granted is about a 3-year, and this is just for India. Getting a patent granted in India will cost you nothing less than 2.5 to 3 lakhs of rupees, not just 70,000. 70,000 is the initial cost of drafting for putting the patent application in for the start of the patenting process. Up to the end of the process, the entire patenting cost may come to about 3 lakhs, and that is just for India. Only for India. If you are going to talk of international jurisdictions, the cost is far several lakhs more. For example, even for the major jurisdictions, if I say Europe, China, USA, Canada, etc., it may come to even close to 50 lakhs to 1 crore of rupees. So patenting is not an inexpensive exercise. But once the patent is granted, then that is where a property gets created in that intellectual asset that you have created. Therefore, if your question was that is the cost high, I would say the cost that was asked of you was only the initial cost of writing the patent specification for submission to the patent office and not for prosecution, which would be several thousands or lakhs, much more. But I believe that eventually, once the institute, an institute like Dr. Sonawne's institute, the Symbiosis University takes it up, then the cost will not be it will not be debited to the student's account. It will go to the university as the account, and the university will then take up all the marketing rights. Now, there are also other avenues which we will discuss. Does this answer at least part of your question, Gritika?
Yes, sir, but sorry to interrupt. I had
tell me.
I just had a cross question to this. But what if I don't want the university's role in my patent? Is there any external loan what I can get?
Yeah. Now the external loan is to be got or is to be obtained from people which are called funds. For example, as an attorney, we work for several funds. There are venture capitalist funds. There are funds which are looking at various issues. There are various people who are prepared to fund these kind of projects. So it is a matter of discussion between them and you. Okay.
So is it a kind of incubation?
Yeah, incubation is a government, the government funding body are called incubators. There are incubators which have been fixed up by the Department of Science and Technology. The DST, Department of Science and Technology, has a system of incubation. I do not know whether as of now, I mean, I don't have knowledge whether the Symbiosis Skills University is as of yet part of the incubator program, but several universities, both private as well as public, are part of that particular program. So that is DST. Then there is another body called the NRDC. I don't know whether you have heard of it. NRDC, National Research Development Corporation of India. NRDC, which is again a government body, that also that via the university, but it has to be submitted via the university. The university submits these proposals to NRDC. Then NRDC takes over the funding, but then again they would take a share. See, whichever body you are going to do, you are going to give your which you will be looking for funding from, is going to ask you for certain collaterals. Number one, will ask you for certain ask for a share in the pie. Is that clear, or are there any further questions, Kritika? Please let me know.
No, sir, that's all. Thank you so much.
All right, Kritika. So that is the first level. That yes. Now, firstly, I must share with you these three words: intellectual property rights. Intellectual property rights is intellectual would be property right, or they are rights that have come to you from some external agencies, from the spirit, from whatever, from the outside the brain, and these are sparks of genius. I would say sparks of genius, sparks of creativity that an individual or a group of individuals have received, as a result of which they are able to come up with something new. Something new in the sense that the something new is in either a new product or a new process. In India, these are the only two new things which get covered under what are called patent rights, a new product or a new process. All right. Now, intellectual property rights come in various forms. Who is handling this slide presentation? They can move to the next slide. All right. Now, for example, now it is determined that there were different ages. Earlier was the age of, we had different ages of man. In the current age, in this century, which means the 21st century, the person who has the ability to convert knowledge into wealth, that is the person that is going to have, that is going to control all the wealth in the world. The wealth in the world is going to be controlled by a company that is going to have, it's not going to be the amount of assets. It is going to be the amount of intellectual property that this company, any individual that is going to have. That is the wealth. Go ahead, next. All right. Now, let's take the types of IPR. There are different types of IPR. Let's take the simplest product that you have is the mobile phone. In the mobile phone, where there are 4 forms of intellectual property. Let's move to which ones. For example, the shape of this phone becomes a subject matter of design. The internal circuit of the phone is subject matter of patent. The internal circuit is the IC layout. Nokia, for example, would be the trademark. So these are four intellectual property rights which are there within this one phone itself. So we see design, patent, trademark, and the IC layout design. Let's move to the next. Then, of course, the tone, the Nokia tone, for example, that the tone itself becomes subject matter of copyright, okay, and a sound trademark. Let's take another example of your bike, the Flame bike or the TVS bike. Now, in this, for example, on the left-hand side, you see TVS, that is trademark. Flame, the red flame, etc. That picture is the subject matter of copyright. Go ahead, move. For example, the seat is subject matter of design, and the engine, for example, is subject matter of patent, and that flame, the slogan there becomes subject matter of copyright. So all you can see in every picture, everything, and hereafter, I believe this is what you guys should do. These are they're called, no, please go back to the earlier slide, yes. These would be considered as different, what are called intellectual property rights, which are available: patents, trademarks, industrial designs, copyrights, integrated circuits and layout designs, geographical indications, plant varieties. For example, can any one of you can unmute yourself and say, Do you know of any geographical indication recently that was available? Anybody? Any geographical indication that you can think of? So when I say Puneri, what is the first product that can come in your mind? Puneri.
Pagdi there.
Sorry?
Pagdi. Puneri Pagdi.
Pagdi. So Puneri Pagdi recently got a geographical indication. The type of Pagdi that you wear with the Toran, particularly the salmon-colored Pagdi that was there. Another product that recently got a geographical indication was Puneri Misal. Even the Puneri Misal, the type of misal that was obtained is what got a geographical indication. So Puneri also. So for example, the Puneri type misal cannot be, no other misal can be called a Puneri misal. Again, Kolhapuri chappal, for example. Kolhapuri has been granted as a right for chappals. The type of chappal, so you can't have for example, a Kolhapuri chappal made in Miraz or made in Pune or made in Mumbai. You can't. Now, guys, any other geographical indications that you can think of?
Basmati rice.
Nice, sir. Basmati, see, geographical indication, important thing.
Banarasi silk.
Banarasi silk, yes. Banarasi silk, perfect example. Ashutosh, Basmati means flavored. Bas means smell. Mati means containing. So Basmati means smelling, aroma containing rice. Technically, that is not a geographical indication. But if you say, for example, Punjab Basmati rice or Haryana Basmati rice, then yes, that Punjab or Haryana can be called a geographical indication. There must be something that is related to a geography. All right?
Ratnagiri Hapus.
Somebody said, yes. Anything else?
Ratnagiri Hapus.
Ratnagiri Hapus. Absolutely correct. Ratnagiri Hapus, and there also, there was another, Devgad. Devgad Hapus was considered as a separate geographical origin than Ratnagiri Hapus. Apparently there are two separate varieties. Ratnagiri Hapus and Devgad Hapus were considered as separate. Anything else?
Darjeeling tea.
Darjeeling tea, excellent. These are so now you get now what has happened?
Malmal from Dhaka.
Sorry?
Malmal from Dhaka.
Malbar? I couldn't.
Dhake ki Malmal.
Dhake ki Malbar, absolutely. Dhake ki Malbar, yeah, Kota Doria. If you, Ganesh, for example, Kota Doria from the city of Kota, from Hyderabad, Pochampalli for toys. Then Calcutta or Bengal, gulab jamuns and rasgullas. Recently they were considered as a Nepali kukri, the knife that Nepali that is there. Now these come under the category geographical indications, and I believe any of you who have some sort of an association or who come from and are aware of such geographical indications that need to be covered, it has been found that people, once these things are protected, India has a wealth of geographical indications from throughout the land. There has been a lot of geographical indications available. And the last are, of course, plant varieties. Plant varieties are different plants have different types of varieties. For example, rice. Just take the case of rice. Rice itself, in India, we have over 300 varieties of rice. Right? For example, here, Indrayani rice is very different from Ambamor rice, is again very different from Basmati rice. Different types of rice have different kind of plant varieties. So that is, we have a wealth of these products in our country. Go ahead. Next slide, please. Let's move fast. All right. These are non-statutory rights. I'm not going to go more for lawyers, but these are other rights also available. Go ahead. Next. Now, let's go into trademarks. See, the trademarks is what you can see. So these are the main verticals. Trademarks is, of course, the main verticals. Today, for example, this symbiosis symbol that you have shown, the symbiosis skill symbol with the pen, the old-fashioned nib with the S device, that itself is a trademark. And I hope that that Symbiosis Skills University trademark has been registered. We have had a lot of cases of trademark violations where people have called themselves by different names. And this, your Symbiosis Skills University, this also can be all registered trademarks. These are all trademarks that are there. Go ahead, move it. Now, these are examples of different forms of what trademarks take. And of course, guys, if there is any question that you have in between, please unmute yourself and ask the question. Okay?
Yes, sir. Sir, there is one question in the trademark itself. If I have a name, and I have registered it as a word mark and a logo, both the things. So if someone tweaks a name, like if suppose I have a classic, so if he puts double A in that, and so that can be registered, and if yes, like how I will be notified?
Yeah. So see, all right. Let's go through the whole process. So you've got classic. You have registered classic, and you are using classic for some products of yours. All right.
Yes.
Somebody puts double A. Now that double A, see for
and which in the same class. Sorry, sir. But it is in the same class.
Yeah, in the same class, in the same category.
Yeah.
If somebody else also applies for classic with a double A, that would be considered firstly the trademark registry. There is an organization called the trademark registry where you have to register it, and the trademark registry itself will first raise an objection. But assuming the trademark registry clears it for some reason, then these applications are published in the trademarks journal. And 4 months' time is given to you as the trademark owner to file an opposition, to oppose the registration of the trademark and file an action against him. Of course, for example, just yesterday there was a judgment which changed the law slightly. As you know, there is a Chennai party who was for their medicines using the name Coronel with some numbers, Coronel 92N. And Patanjali came out with Coronel. All right?
Okay.
The court said, no, you did not register Coronel. You have got registered of Coronel 92N. And therefore, your mark is different. I am allowing Coronel. Tomorrow, if there is if this case is finally granted in your favor, an injunction will be granted, and you will be entitled to pay damages. So, there is a lot of as far as that is concerned, and people have been stopped from even similar designs, similar kind of trademarks. It is a very, very, very. These are very quick type actions. They're all actions that are filed in the commercial court. I believe many of you are not lawyers. So because you are not lawyers, I'm not going into the legality of it. But these actions are very quick. Unlike what people say that in India, cases are delayed. I may share with you, from our team, we filed a case in the Mumbai High Court last Friday. We filed the case on Thursday. By Friday, the case came up. The court granted an injunction, and by Friday evening, an undertaking was given. So it took entire case from start to finish took 48 hours. In 48 hours, we were able to stop somebody from using your type of classic registered. Somebody comes out with CLA, SIC. We will be able to stop them in about 48 hours. Of course, you have to go to court, you have to appoint lawyers. The lawyers will argue the matter. The lawyers will take their fee. And in this particular case, the court granted, the complete damages were granted. So the party did not have to spend a single money, but the defendant paid all the money. So it was almost free of cost. All right. Go ahead.
But sir, if also, sorry sir, but if also, if suppose trademark register clears it, so will I be get notified like your name has similar to this, or like
yes, it will be published in the journal, and you are given 4 months time to file an opposition.
No, but in the 4 months period, how will I know if it is published or not? Because every time I'm not checking at the portal.
Yeah, but you should have, you don't have to check the portal. The trademark registry publishes a journal.
Okay.
There is a journal published every Monday. So four times a month. For example, today, the trademark registry would have published a journal.
Okay.
In that journal in your class, you are in, suppose you are in class 9.
Okay, no,
you have to go to class 9 and check the journal. It would be a matter of the trademark journal. You go to the IP India website.
Yeah. That time. Okay, sir. Yeah, sir.
Now the other thing is that if you have an attorney, if you have normally we do that job for you. We handle 150,000 trademarks. Our portfolio, which we are handling, is 150,000 trademarks. By Monday, we will be looking at the journal for 150,000 trademarks. By Friday, we would have sent mails to all our clients that this mark is there, this mark is published, and in a month we file about 5,000 to 6,000 oppositions. We oppose 5,000 to 6,000 oppositions marks, and we prevent them from being granted. So this is a very regular activity. All right.
So was there any case like if someone has classic and someone has CLAA? So and the CLAA won the case, and he registered it, and the one with single A lost it. So is that happened in the history of this trademarks?
Yeah, constantly. It's a continuous process where people take add 2 A's, add, make. In fact, for example, there will be, instead of CLAASIC, somebody will write CLASIX, classics.
Yeah, or maybe SIK.
Or KLI.
Yeah.
They make that is all that is checked. The trademark registry, the trademark office will consider all these trademarks to be simple, to be the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. I think there was a question there from Tushar. Tushar Kadam, you are there? All right. There was a message which was flashed that was related to patents. I'll come back to it. Please hold on to that thought about Tushar. Your question was that whether a concept can be patented. All right, Tushar.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Tushar. Any for patenting?
Yes, only a concept.
Yes.
There is any possibilities to if someone is copying it within the process. It's just concept, and I have to publish it.
Yes.
But within the process, that will be the copying by others. That will be how you can avoid it. And Tushar, another thing is.
Yeah, Tushar. Let me answer your first question. See, when it comes to concept, when there is a thing called a concept. See, that is where we as attorneys come. Your concept should for covering it as a patent. Your concept should be converted. Either should be convertible. I wouldn't say you have not converted it. You have a concept in your mind. It should be converted either into a product or into a process. If that concept into a
product,
product. So if that concept is can be converted, I'm not saying you have converted it. If that concept can be converted into a product, it can be patented. Okay. I can protect it even at the concept stage. I do not need to produce a sample. I don't need to produce a prototype. I do not need to produce a working model. I just need, I mean, you need to write the everything is what is on documentation with drawings, with simulation studies. Maybe we do in some days. That is where our team of engineers will work
Yes.
on that concept and develop a product which is patented. In fact, I would say almost 50 to 60% of the patents that we have got granted for our clients are all start from concepts. We call them ideas. At some point of time in your idea, in your mind, Tushar, an idea came. You got an idea. At some point of time, you got that idea. We will convert it into a patentable product or a process. All right?
Yes.
All right. So,
sir,
yeah,
sorry
who's
to
this?
interrupt again. Just
that?
an extension to Tushar's
Yes,
Tushar
Kritika,
sir's question. If we are signing a non-disclosure agreement with anyone,
yes.
Does every copy of the non-disclosure agreement needs to be notified or notarized? Sorry.
No, it doesn't need to be notarized at all, Kritika. A non-disclosure agreement is a very weak form of document. In law, I mean, I know you guys are not lawyers, so I'm not going into that area, but a non-disclosure agreement in India is a very weak form of protection. You file your provisional patent application and then file any non-disclosure. Your protection for your idea can only come by filing a patent application, not by the non-disclosure agreement. All right, let's say, I'll say why that is very weak. Assuming that somebody has copied it, somebody copies that idea. He signed a non-disclosure agreement. What will you do? Kritika, what will you do? He has signed a non-disclosure agreement. Now the man has copied it. He has published it. He has even put it into the press, filed a publication. What will you do?
File a case against it.
Yeah, you have to go to court, no? You'll file the case, you'll go to court. Instead of spending now 70,000, which your lawyer was saying for filing the patent application, now you're going to spend 3 lakhs of rupees. And the 3 lakhs of rupees is a civil sake. It is a breach of contract. Non-disclosure agreement is a contract. Now the non-disclosure agreement, it's a breach of contract case. Breach of contract cases take about 10 years or 15 years to be finally it comes up before the court. So non-disclosure agreements are very weak forms of document. So don't fall into the trap of non-disclosure agreements. The only way that your idea or concept can be patented or can be protected is by filing a patent application as soon as possible. The important thing is that file your patent application before disclosure, before disclosing it to anybody. It should be a relationship between you and your patent attorney, you and your patent lawyer. That should be the arrangement. Another message got flashed, and I'll answer that right now. Can theories be patented? No, theories by themselves, which will be either a mathematical theory or a theory of relativity. Theories by themselves cannot be patented. But a product based on that theory, or a method based on that theory, yes, that can be patented. I can file a patent for either of these two aspects. All right. Okay. Now this one.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, Tanmay, tell me.
Sir, I wanted to ask you a question. So if there is a person X who shares, whom I share my idea with, like, yes. For example, I have to start a social networking site. I'm giving an example which is a true scenario which happened when Mark Zuckerberg founded Facebook. So there were two twins, a set of twins in Harvard who had started this social networking site called Harvard Connection, and they shared that idea with Mark Zuckerberg. And they asked Mark Zuckerberg to actually work with them to develop that site. And instead of working with them, Mark Zuckerberg kind of copied that idea and developed Facebook. And then those twins actually filed a lawsuit against him, and I think they received $65 million as a settlement.
Yeah, but that was a settlement. Remember, Tanmay, that was a settlement.
Okay. So that's what I wanted to ask, that they did not develop that product, right? They just had an idea. So, and somebody else is developing that product. So how can, on what basis can they sue that person if they haven't developed the product themselves?
Who did not develop the product themselves?
The twins only had that idea, but they didn't develop that product. They wanted someone to develop that product for them. And, you know, so they wanted to hire somebody who would develop that product for them.
Yes. But they wanted to hire somebody, but then they also at that point of time, they also did what was there. Now see if you, I'll just share with you the name of those twins they were called Winklevoss twins.
Yes, sir. Tyler and Cameron Winklevoss.
Yeah, Winklevoss. Winklevoss. Winklevoss brothers.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Winklevoss brothers were involved in that particular process, and the rumor was that they got that kind of money. I'm not sure. Can I will share with you, because just today itself a reverse thing happened. All right, Tanmay?
Okay.
Since you raised this, let me share with you a thing. We have a client called Mr. Sangram Kakad.
Okay, sir.
He developed a website, and he developed an idea for which he filed a patent application. It is called MTJF.
Okay, sir.
MTJF is more than just friends.
Okay.
All right. And after developing this idea, he of course, fortunately, he was a little bit more smarter than Winklevoss brothers. He filed a patent application with us, and we filed a patent application for his process, for the method, his system. All right.
Okay.
Thereafter, he shared this idea. Now, by that time, Facebook had said that we will not have a dating app. It was a dating app. MTJF is a dating app.
Okay.
But a dating app, a special kind of dating app for friends.
Yes, sir.
Between friends, not for then. So that's why it's called MTJF, or more than just friends.
Okay.
So the whole issue was that he shared this concept or idea with Facebook.
Okay. Yeah, they shared that idea with Mark Zuckerberg, and
they shared that idea with Mark Zuckerberg. But our friend Sangram Kakad shared this idea with Facebook about 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay. Okay.
And after that, shortly after a week or 10 days after our friend Mr. Kakad shared that idea, Facebook came up with a dating app for exactly the same concept.
Okay. Okay.
And our friend Sangram Kakad had proof that he had shared that idea.
Because now, today there is a case well before.
Tanmay, there is a case pending in the Pune District Court where we have filed a case against Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook for stealing Mr. Kakad's idea.
Okay, sir, I got it. Sir, but the one thing I want to ask you is that, for example, if you are not a software developer and you just have an idea, but you cannot execute that on your own because you may not have the skills to do that on your own. You would need to hire an engineer or a guy who has those kind of skills. So, if you just have an idea, is it sufficient to file a patent, or do you need a product?
No, you just need to have that idea, Tanmay.
Okay, sir. Yeah.
And you should go to people qualified. You should go to, like us. I mean, we do that. We help most of the people that come to us.
Okay.
In fact, let me share with you, even last night that this happened, I got a call at about 3 o'clock last night.
Okay.
3 o'clock. And at 3 o'clock, the guy phones up and says that I've got a brilliant idea. My wife is sleeping next to me, but I don't want to share it with her also. I'm concerned with what will happen. So I'm calling you. I said, okay. I mean, and he said that this is my idea. This is what my concept is. It was again, I guess, a similar type of app. And as we spoke, by 1 o'clock this afternoon, I can share with you, by 1 o'clock this afternoon, we have filed his patent application already at the patent office.
Okay, sir. Yeah.
So somehow these ideas. Now after that, I told him, now that your patent application is filed, now you can even hold a press conference. You can call anybody. You can hire software engineers. You can hire developers, whatever. We have already protected, because we have got software engineers. We have got computer science engineers. We have got electronic engineers on the team. Tanmay, I am also an electronic engineer. I'm a systems analyst myself, of course, apart from being a lawyer. So that is my specialty. But we have teams. We have 154 different segments of technology in our own office.
Okay, sir.
So between our teams,
question.
Yeah, tell me, Tanmay.
Sorry to interrupt you. One more question.
No, it's
okay. Suppose you have an idea and you want to know if that idea is already patented, or that.
Yes.
So most likely the most likely thing that we are about to do, like the most likely outcome is that we Google search, and Google is always looking for some unique searches that have not been seen before.
Yes.
And there is a possibility that they might actually conceptualize and then execute that idea before you, because they have more resources, obviously, and they have more, they have skilled people who can execute that idea even before you can even think about it. So what is a likely safe way to find out if your idea is not, if your idea is authentic, if it's not just,
All right. Tanmay, nowadays, see, about 10 years or 15, I would say 15 years ago, we would ask the client, we will do a search before filing the patent application. All right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
15 years ago, that was the methodology. Today, it is the most dangerous thing the minute you have an idea to go to Google or go to any search engine, one of these search engines. Go to these search engines and try to do a search on that idea. Most dangerous, because all these search engines are very leaky. Every keyword that you put into it.
Yes.
There are people sitting down and trapping these keywords.
Yes, sir.
And
particularly
in places like China or other parts, may not necessarily be in India. But outside, all these search engines are very leaky. So the minute you get an idea, our advice to all our clients is, first file the provisional patent application. You can immediately go to the patent office, file a provisional patent application, and book the idea.
Okay.
Now the way the patent office system works, that the minute I file the patent application, they not only put a date stamp, they put a time stamp to the nearest second. So your idea is not only dated, it is also time stamped.
Okay, sir.
Now, anybody who files a patent application after that, any part of the world will be after you.
Yes, sir. So there is no the possibility.
There was another message, Tanmay. Your another friend Anurag said we can use a browser. Same issue. All right. The same issue will happen. Any sort of today, whether you use a browser, you use Wi-Fi, you use any other system, you use Google, you use anything else. All these are very leaky. The people who are, I would call them patent hackers. We call them patent trolls. They are just sitting there waiting, or their only purpose in life is to have these keywords. With the keywords, they are very good at combining them to form ideas, and they file patent applications. That is why, let me share with you as far as the numbers. In India today, there are about 50,000 patent applications filed every year. 50,000. In China, there are 1.5 million patent applications filed every year. It is not that Chinese are more inventive. Chinese are they are very good at doing this aspect of hacking. They know, they carry these keywords, they pay for these data sets, they pay for these keywords immediately and very quickly. So
yes, sir. Yes,
so
sir.
Now the question is, what is the cost? Okay, people, there was a question: what is the cost of booking? Filing a provisional patent application should not cost you. I mean, as an individual, the government fee is something like 1,600 rupees. So just to answer your question of, I think the Miss Pardesi, I think was involved to answer Gritika's question. The cost for filing at the Indian Patent Office is 1,600 rupees only. For 1,600 rupees, you can file and cover your idea. Just write an idea, put your idea and go online and file this provisional patent application, block this idea, and immediately you get a timestamp, date stamp, and a patent application number, Kritika. That's all that it is going to cost for you to put this concept. Now, if you, of course, want an attorney to write that, then it is the attorney's cost, which would be something like 10,000, 15,000 rupees, up to 10 to 15,000 rupees. An attorney would normally cost for doing that exercise. But you can do this yourself. Maybe the first application you would learn how it is to be done. The second application, Kritika, you can do it yourself. 1,600 rupees is something like, I mean, it's like, is a very small amount of money which you can pay at the patent office for just booking your idea. Write a detailed note about the idea with drawings, and it doesn't have to be in any form. It doesn't have to be in any document, but the idea in detail with all aspects. Of course, a patent attorney or a patent, somebody who is expert at patents will write the idea better for you, convert the idea in a better format. But I mean, you can also do it yourself. If you need help, you have to pay for that. Right?
Sir?
Yeah, who is this?
Sir Manasvi. So I would like to ask you, in what sort
Please be louder. I can't hear you.
Okay. So am I audible now?
Yes.
So in what sort of
agreement? Give us your name. Is it
Manasvi?
Manasvi.
Manasvi.
Yeah. And what is your department, Manasvi?
Data science.
Data science. Okay, Manasvi.
Yes.
Tell me.
So in what sort of agreemental document can you bound your business partner? So if two students are there and they want to develop some idea and one discusses the idea with the other person. So can you file the patent together, or it has to be done in one person's name who developed the idea, who got the idea?
Yeah. Manasvi, my advice to all of you is that file the initial patent application only in the name of the person who got the idea. I don't believe that there can be multiple inventors. The idea or the spark of creativity, spark of genius comes into the mind, in the mind of only one person. One person, the Srishti, what we call it, spirit, whatever you may call it, gives this idea to one person, and that person should go and file that patent application herself, himself or herself. Okay. Once you have done this, then you have already protected the idea, and then go and talk to your business partner. Once that is done, then you can involve the business partner, who generally will be the moneyed person, who generally has some sort of money, or who is prepared to put in and invest some money into your project. Then he can be included as the applicant, as a joint applicant, not as the inventor. All right. There is a difference
Okay.
between the inventor and the applicant at the patent office.
All right, sir.
Okay, Manasi?
Yes, sir.
Just another perspective to the previous question. Like,
Yes, sir.
if there is an idea and every
Yes.
idea gets patented,
Yes.
so there will be no competition. If there is the same idea with some other one,
Yes.
there will be no competition, right? Within the same idea. So
No,
how
I'm
this
sorry.
works? Like Amazon and Flipkart, they both
Yes.
are very big players, and
Yes.
Amazon have patented around 2,400 patents and all.
Yes, they have.
So how this competition thing works in the same idea if someone has
All right.
patented already?
All right. Now let us take this case of Amazon. Amazon is an online shopping sort of app. All right. Basically, it's an app which is an online shopping app. Now the online shopping app by itself has not been patented. Amazon's idea was not that aspect was not really the patent of Amazon. Amazon has patented various aspects. For example, what Amazon has patented, or what they have patented is, or I think that was not even Amazon's patent. It was the one-click shopping. The one-click shopping was patented by Dell. Dell was the original person who patented that concept of one-click shopping, and then assembling of different components, different kind of things. That was the initial patent for that was in the name of Dell. Dell, in fact, licensed those rights to Amazon, and Amazon has got several patents, and Flipkart also has got separate patents. Now, remember the other thing, that a patent is not something that is perennial. A patent has a lifetime of 20 years. So once a person has got a patent application, that patent application lasts for a period of 20 years. After 20 years, a patent is not renewable. It becomes free for all. That is the system. And different aspects, different methodologies of doing the same thing are patented in different way. All right. Yeah. I got another question from Mr. I think Shubhankar Anil. What if the lawyer himself covers or patents or files a patent for the idea? Good question. See, the whole issue is that lawyers are bound by different levels of ethics. Lawyers the lawyer himself, if he does a fraud, if a lawyer does that aspect, it becomes a breach of trust. That becomes a criminal offense against the lawyer. You can put such a lawyer who would have copied your idea or would have done such a thing, he goes straight away to jail. Because if you are able to establish that you shared an idea with a lawyer and the lawyer went and filed the patent or protected that idea in his or her name, it becomes a breach of trust, and that becomes a criminal offense. So such a lawyer can go to jail for a period of 7 years. Okay. So I have not had a case in my entire career, which now spans over 50 years, where a lawyer that I was aware of violated the trust of the client and went and did that activity. All right. Right, guys. Any other question?
Yeah. Sir, one question from my side. I am
Yes,
Vaijayanti.
Yes.
Suppose I have got some concept and I book that concept. But so is there any approval from the department that is go ahead or something like that? Because in the meanwhile, from somewhere, someone has got the similar idea and the similar concept. Then is there anything, any way to know whether my idea is unique? No one has done that. How can I come to know that?
All right. Vaijayanti, you are from which department?
Mechatronics.
Mechatronics. Okay. So let's say that you got an idea in mechatronics, something to do with electronic, mechanical, a combination of a mechanical idea that can work electronically. and assuming that you have filed a patent application, right?
Yeah.
Once you have filed a patent application, then as one of your students, I think, spoke, what you can do is you can go do a Google patent search. That is the simplest or an inexpensive patent search, and find out and put in keywords and find out whether that idea has already been patented or not by somebody else. It is possible to do those kind of searches. Those searches normally take about 3 to 4 days. And in about 3 to 4 days, you get good enough results. That such kind of searches are also done professionally. Such kind of searches, the patent office does that search free of cost for you. In whatever fee that you have paid, whatever is the initial fee that you have paid, the patent office also does a search for you and then gives you a report that that Vaijayanti, these are the persons who have already filed patent applications anywhere in the world. That their concept is not just restricted to India. They have ability nowadays to do what is called an international level search in all multi languages, whether it is Polish, Chinese, Korean, Japanese, in any language they are doing a search and they will give you the search results. That is part of the job of the patent office to do it. But we can also do that search. Patent attorneys also do that search regularly. You book the normal method is you file an initial patent application. That is done. After the patent application, you have 1 year's time to file a final patent application. There is a time in India, we have a 1 year's time period. Within that 1 year's time period, you do that. We conduct what is called a search, a similar kind of search which the patent office does. And then we will tell you, Vaijayanti, no, this idea has already been covered, or this aspect of your idea we can cover separately.
And sir, how do you approach that method of search?
Search, there are different search engines.
Okay.
There are Google Patents is a free search engine. I would say that is a very leaky search engine. We have other what are called paid search databases. There are paid databases that are a subscription based. For example, we subscribe to 2 search engine bases where we pay close to about $67 per year as license fee, and then all over the world we get these search databases where we are able to search very quickly, very efficiently, and give you the key results in a matter of days. We are able to do that. So I think it's an important thing to get done. All right. Now somebody asked that can we repatent something that has already been already patented before? No, answer is no. 20 years is the maximum time period, and one important aspect which you as students, you as faculty should know. Once the invention has been made public, that patent application, there can be no patent. The patent bus has gone forever. So the important part of any patent, this intellectual property right called patents, is that you must file the patent application before you make it public, before you disclose it, before you publish it, before you write a paper on it. And in India, let me tell you, every year, this whole concept of what, and that is what I was discussing with Dr. Sonavane before I agreed. I thought if this is the message I can share with your team, is that before you, at the beginning of every year, you take up a lot of projects. These projects may be part of your MTech project, it may be part of your PhD project. Now, once that project is published into a thesis, once it goes into the thesis and it is not protected in a patent application, the rights to that invention is lost forever. Nobody can sort of patent that product. You can't patent it yourself. Nobody else can patent it because it is now a published literature. You are, yes, you may be considered as the author of the paper, but you do not have any intellectual property right. The property right in that invention, in that idea has been lost forever. And let me tell you, in India, 500,000 such ideas at the university level alone, I'm not saying other areas, at the university level alone are lost every year because the universities, the PhD guides, the PhD professors, the universities themselves have not, this elementary precaution was not taken, is that the minute a project comes to you, you must first cover that project by a patent application. And it must be covered in the name of the university, and then share that with share the royalties with the student or the person or the professors or the team that got the idea. I got a question here about what is the meaning of royalty? See, the royalties, anybody is like a bhada, rent. If you allow somebody else to use your idea or your patent idea, your property right, then you can demand or you can ask them to pay a royalty per piece, per year, different methods. There are different methods of this aspect of royalty payments. All right. So that is the meaning of the term royalty, which can be that was a question that was asked by one of you. All right. Sorry, can you explain what is the meaning of an antitrust case? Not antitrust. I said breach of trust. See, you have trust in somebody. You trust somebody. You trust somebody with whatever. You trust somebody. You trust a friend with some idea, something. You trust a lawyer. You trust a doctor. You trust you go to a doctor. You have trust in a doctor. You have a trust in a lawyer. Then now that lawyer or that doctor commits a breach of your trust. He does something as a result of which there is a breach. That trust is broken. Now, because that trust is broken, an employee breaches your trust. You trust an employee with certain things. Now, it is not just money. It is just you trust him with certain confidential information that you may have of yours. Now, if that particular that trust is broken, that is called a breach. In criminal law, it is called breach of trust, and you can file a case against that person who has broken your trust. It is called breach of promise. At that point of time, Sumit, I'll just ask. I'll come back to your question. There was a question before this, Sumit. Was whether royalty is taxable. Yes, royalty is considered as income, and royalty will be taxable, but not at the same level as your income tax. It goes more into the wealth. It is more like a property tax, which is taxable at about 20% of that tax. So it's not the same tax as an income tax, and it will go into your general income. Okay.
Sir.
Yes, Sumit. What was your question?
Sir, my question is that suppose how to decide whether to go for a patent or a paper publication, and if I suppose I have submitted to paper to one of journal and my status is accepted manuscript.
Yes, sir.
In that case, can I file the patent on same idea?
No, Sumit. Unfortunately, that is what there was this goes back to the days of Lord Macaulay. If all of you have heard of Lord Macaulay, some of you may have heard, that it was by design. On all educational institutions, the whole aspect was in India. In India, for example, the worth of a professor, the worth of a lecturer, the worth of a principal is dependent on the number of publications to their credit. Abroad, outside India, they don't worry about publications. They worry about the number of patents because a patent is a commercial document. The minute you have submitted your document for publication, Sumit, that is gone. That idea is now no longer a patentable idea, because you have disclosed your idea to the public. The idea has gone. It has left your case. So the theory which our great scientists, our great scientists have said, that you publish and perish. The minute you in India we have published and you perish, but you patent and prosper. So if just these two concepts, these 4 P's get stuck in your mind, all of you ladies and gentlemen, if get stuck in your mind, you publish and perish, because that is the end of your idea. You patent and prosper. You will then be able to get your product then comes into the area of commerce. All right. There was a question. I think Mr. Malviya or Dr. Malviya said they wanted to ask a question. Could you please go ahead with your question, sir?
Yes,
yes,
sir.
Vikas.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening,
Good evening, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, absolutely, Vikas.
Sir, actually, I have a query about it. I'm an assistant professor here in Department of CSIT at Symbiosis.
Yes, sir.
So my question is, recently I published a paper.
Yes,
my guide has told me to do this, but
yes,
what if I want to go for a patent for that paper? Actually, it's a design of a web browser. So can I go for a patent for that?
No, because unfortunately that patent bus has already moved on from the terminal. It is gone.
Okay. So if
now we have to wait, but because I'm sure you got one idea, you will get many more.
Okay.
But hear my words. When you get the next idea, because please let these words be etched in your brain.
Okay.
That before publication, see, please don't blame your professor, because they have been trained. They have been trained to ask all their students or ask all their people who are under them to publish their idea as soon as possible. So the next idea that you get, you must protect it by a patent application. And that is what I'm telling Dr. Sonamne, that we will have an IP cell within the university. All such ideas will pass through the cell. If it is a patentable idea, if the idea is patentable, we should protect that idea. See, all ideas, it is not that all, see, every patent starts from an idea. All right? Every patent will always start from an idea. That is the first step. But every idea is not patentable. There may be some ideas which may be patentable, some ideas may be not. Those ideas which are not patentable can proceed to publication, never mind. But if that idea can be converted to patents, there are very few ideas that are not convertible to a patent. But if that idea is convertible to a patent, you should file a patent application, and the university should do whatever. I believe that the university should have a budget for giving good ideas to students, even reward them separately, and we will work out, I think, hopefully, Dr. Sonamne and me and Dr. Sharma, we will work out a process by which we will be able to create a fund for all of you brilliant students and professors who get these ideas, and we protect them so that at least you get your ideas don't go waste. Your ideas don't go waste.
Yes, sir. I just wish to share some points. Like
yes, Dr. Sonamne.
We had already taken, and I was in talk with you regarding the IPR lab also.
Yes, sir.
Like the IPR lab itself will serve the purpose which you are telling. Like the prior art search can be made easy for the student, and
yes, sir,
they will come to know the exact status of their work, whether the idea is patentable or not.
Yes, sir.
So that is how we can help the student.
And not only that, Dr. Sonamne, what will happen is that, see, the IPR lab, one is, of course, IPR cell will consider and look at filing of the patent applications. So, yeah, IPR lab will come. First is the IPR cell. IPR cell will consider, is this patentable or not patentable? If it is patentable, go to the patent office. For example, I think I shared with you SRM.
Yes.
For the university called SRM, we filed 106 patent applications in the month of December alone. The IPR cell filed that. Same thing can be done with your institute initially. I'm sure your students and your professors are as brilliant and they're brilliant minds. Unfortunately, I mean, most of our brilliant minds that go to the United States, a lot of our brilliant minds are filing patent applications at the US patent office and creating intellectual property in the US. Let us maintain, that is the biggest brain drain that we are having. The most tragic brain drain in India is the brain drain of patent ideas which are going abroad. So that Dr.
Sorry,
Sonali, go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Sir, sorry to interrupt you,
yes,
but I wanted to ask you if I want to register a patent, okay, and if my patent is going to get registered.
Yes, sir.
Can you register it? Is it on my name or is it for the organization I work for?
Tanmay, depends. See, there are two ways. If you are working for an organization, most organizations have this basic principle that they employ you with the condition that your brain belongs to the organization 24/7. You may be working for the organization from 9 to 5, but the brain belongs to the organization as long as you are there with them. All right.
Okay, sir. Yeah.
So really, that is not if you are working for an organization, that it is. Now, all international universities, particularly US universities, there is a condition that if you are part of their PhD program, part of their research program, part of their grants program, automatically whatever ideas that you have belong to the university straight away. It belongs to the university. It does not, I mean, the ownership or the patent applications are filed in the name of the university. And then there is a royalty sharing agreement. That is what we do. So Dr. Sonamne, again, I just wanted to complete. The IP cell will file the patent applications in the name of the university and the student, or in the name of the university alone. And then after that, the IP lab will do the research and do all that particular research for the student. And this greatly helps the thesis. We also do so in the PhD project, in the thesis, in whatever, all that material will become subject matter of the PhD project report. It becomes part of the project report and it becomes part of the thesis. And many theses are improved by this IP lab existence. The student will themselves work and the other teams will work. So therefore, both go hand in hand. IP cell comes first, IP labs comes after that. And both can then give that kind of support to your students in a very big way. But for this, we will need to have some sort of budget from the university and from the students themselves. I'm sure the students will also want to contribute to the IP lab. Students will also want to contribute to the IP cell. And at some point of time, we would make this a profit center for the university. This eventually becomes a profit center for the university. I may tell you that an institute like MIT, I'll just share with you, that's the only thing that as one of the last things that I can share. The MIT as an institute, Harvard or MIT as an institute, earns in the form of royalties on their patents about 15 times more than they earn in their actual college fees. They are not dependent, their institute is not running on the fees that they receive from the students, but on the royalties that they receive from the intellectual property rights that they have patented and licensed to various entities, that is commercial entities. So really, we can convert this IP cell and IP lab into a commercial center, and it can be a commercial center where all of you students, the present students and the past students and the future students will benefit, not only in reduction of fees, but also in contributing to the national exchequer, to the university exchequer, and to each one of you, because that is where that is the future, sir. Right, guys? I'm quite open to any further questions that you guys may have. Go ahead.
Excuse me, sir. I have a doubt.
Yes, Anurag, tell me.
Sir, I have two questions. First question is that, like you have already said that while we are researching that our concept or idea is unique or not, we become vulnerable to the patent hacking. And the second question is that how we earn by selling our patent to a company. I mean, if I have sell my patent to a company, will I get royalties per month, or will I get a total settlement like $65 million from Facebook?
$65 million. See, those are US patents. So for that, we need to go and file a patent application in the US. We have done that also. I filed a lot of patents and we have got a lot of monies from a lot of people, lot that. The first aspect is patent hacking. To prevent people from taking and stealing your idea, Anurag, you first have to file a patent application, rush to the patent office as soon as possible and file your patent application. Once you file your patent application, you get a patent application number and you get a patent application time. Nobody can hack your idea. It is not patent hacking. It is idea hacking, Anurag. Your idea is hacked because you did not protect your idea in time. All right? That's the first thing. Then there are lots of ways. I can't say that every idea that you get will always result in some sort of money. It is not always. I would say about 1%, not even 10%, 1% of all ideas that you get may be are converted to money. But unless you try, see, you may fail 99 times, but unless you try, and that is where we as patent attorneys with the kind of experience, not only me, there are a few others. I would say that I wouldn't say that it's a very, very extensive profession. It's a very, very restricted profession because people who are both lawyers and technical skills are very few in this country. Abroad, there are lots. In India, there are not so many, but we would generally be able to tell you, Anurag, that, okay, this is an idea is worth pursuing for the sake of money. This is an idea that is worth pursuing for the sake of academics. See, the number of patents, there are a number of patent applications, number of ideas. Now, all of you are students at this level. Remember, in the initial, a lot of students come to me. They have filed patent applications, and in the initial application, sorry. All right. I was just talking to Anurag. Anurag, a lot of students come to me that once you have 5 patent applications, 10 patent applications, you put this in your university applications to Ivy League. Ivy Leagues, I will share this as a secret with all of you. Ivy League universities or universities at that level in the US, in the UK, in Germany, in Australia, are very keen to take in technical students who have protected patent applications, and you submit details of your patent applications to them. They give preference to to students who have filed patent applications, and a lot of students, I mean, forget about students at your level, but students from the 11th standard, sometimes even at the 10th standard, have come to me and filed patent applications and have protected, and they have secured even bursaries from various universities because they had good ideas. Most universities are looking at that, and they'll particularly look at Indian students because they know that Indian students have the kind of brains which will oil the economy in their own countries. You have that power, but that power must be protected. You have to channelize that power into these kind of patent applications, which will take you, which will help you in that initial report that you write, in the submission that you make to these universities, that I have 5 patent applications. These are my 5 patent applications. These are the patent application numbers, and these are the synopses. So that becomes part of your submission to the university, which you are sending along with your application. It becomes a very important part of your documentation for getting acceptance into these prestigious universities abroad after you finish your course in this university, sir. Right, guys?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, Tanmay.
Sir, I have a question. For example, if there's a company which has a certain patent and it wants to let another organization use that patent. So, there are some companies who make their patents open to use to the whole world, but can, like, for example, Elon Musk did allow anybody to use their patents.
Yeah, Tesla's patents, all of Tesla's patents.
Yeah, but can you make it exclusive? Like, can you allow only a certain organization or a certain company to use it and bar it for the rest of the world?
Yeah, you can. Tanmay, that is your choice. See, once you own your property, hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Tanmay, once you own your property, just I'll give you the example of your open. Suppose you own 5 acres of land. In which village? Which village do you come from, Tanmay?
Sir, I'm from Nasik.
You are from Nasik, all right?
Yeah.
Assuming that Tanmay has got 5 acres of land in Nasik, okay?
Yes, sir.
Now,
yes,
you
sir.
can decide that on this 5 acres of land, I will make a garden and throw it open to everybody in Nasik to come and enjoy.
Okay.
The same thing happens with patents. You can decide that all people in Nasik can come and enjoy the fruits of. I will make a garden and allow. So you can allow. All right.
Yes. Sir.
Alternatively, Tanmay, what you can say is that I will allow only children below 6 years.
Yes. Yes, sir.
To come and play in this garden. Adults are not allowed. I want to have a park only for children below 6 years.
Okay.
Because there is nothing in this area for below 6 years. Or you can have a Nana Nani park, that only people who are old, who are elderly, above the age of 60 years, I would allow them to come into this. That is your choice. It is your land. You can put in whatever restrictions, or you can have no restrictions. The patent system works exactly the same way, Tanmay.
Okay, sir. Yes,
They
sir.
treat it as a property. I hope this example has given you an answer to your question.
Yes, sir. I got it, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Right, guys. Go ahead.
Sir.
Yes.
I am Purvi.
Yes, Purvi. Tell me.
Mechatronics right now. So, sir, I had a doubt that if I book an idea, as you said.
Yes.
Any idea. And then what if I don't have the required knowledge to basically manufacture a product, that product? And if I seek help from someone who can do it. So after the building of the prototype, can I file a patent on my name, or do I have to give?
No, Purvi. Purvi, you have booked the idea means you have filed a patent application.
Okay.
You have filed the patent application as Purvi Siddhapura. Okay.
Okay.
It is your patent application. After that, you may take whatever help.
Okay. Okay, sir.
You may take whatever help for building the idea. Generally, you come to a people. I mean, I thought somebody in the beginning said that somebody charged them. I think it was Kritika, who said that the patent attorney said 70,000 rupees. The 70,000 rupees is not for writing the patent application or filing. It is for converting. That is where you come to a person who are engineers. We have a team of engineers at our own team, different types of engineers. We will convert your idea into a patent application, Purvi.
Okay.
We will write the pseudo codes. We will write the coding. We will do whatever. I believe you are part of Department of Computer Science.
Mechatronics, sir.
Mechatronics. Okay. So whatever. Even if you're part of mechatronics, we will convert the drawings. We will take rough sketches from you, and convert that into a patent application, which will be grantable. Hopefully it will be grantable.
Okay.
But of course, it may cost some money. That is where the university will come into the picture, and that is my urge to the university, is to have a budget for this purpose. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome, Purvi. Right, guys? Anything else?
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah. Who's there?
If you said, hi, sir, this is Tejan.
Yes, Tejan.
From Automobile.
Yes, Tejan.
You said, sir, that most of the universities in the US are patenting the ideas from students.
Yes. No, they are not patenting ideas. It is also from professors. Not only from students, they are also patenting the ideas. See, but what they do, for example, is that they take at the time of entry, at the time of allotting projects, whenever they give a project, they sign an assignment deed from the student that whatever work that you have, all this work will belong to the university.
Yes,
so,
yes.
And then they enter into a royalty agreement with you, Tejan.
Yes, sir. So my question here is, why are we not seeing any products or services from any university?
A lot of products are there, Tejan. A lot. I mean, if you look at university-related inventions, almost 1/3 of the inventions that are there in the United States, or more than United States, China, for example, or Japan, they are all initially university inventions. Another country that is very strong is, and I work for some of the universities in Israel. I think almost 60 to 70% of the inventions in the from Israel are originally university inventions. The university ties up with the government. The university ties up with research labs. The university ties up with industry, and then gives these licenses finally the products come out. You're in the auto field, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I will tell you, for even in India, it is quite common. It is not uncommon in India. For example, you have heard of a company called Mahindra and Mahindra.
Yes, sir.
Mahindra, about 10% of all the innovation and developments of Mahindra are university projects. They are university-sponsored projects.
Okay, sir.
So it is, Tejan, it is quite common. It is, see, they don't have the kind of publicity, but look for it. Look for the university inventions. Just Google it yourself, Tejan, and find out all the successful, just put in these words, successful university innovations. You will find that. Yes, Karan, your question.
Sir, I wanted to ask that if a team is working on an idea.
Yes.
And if one of the team member leaks out the idea and patents it, I mean, not leaks out, but patents the idea before the team does. So in this scenario, what can be done?
Yeah, there is systems at the patent office called obtaining, wrongful obtaining. So suppose you and Tejan and Purva were working on one idea, okay? And Tejan went and filed a patent application in his own name. And you, Karan, and Purva can prove that the two of you were that you two were also involved in that idea. You also got that idea, or you got the idea first. Then you can block his patent application and tell the patent office, no, this patent application is wrongly filed, or Tejan filed it wrongly, please give that patent. So that patent, that is built into the patent system, Karan.
Okay, sir. Sir, but how can we find it out? If the
how can we find it out means? How can we find it out means?
Means if the patent has been filed, it will not be public, na, that the person has.
Sir. See, once the patent application is filed, after 18 months of the filing of that patent application, Karan, every patent application that is filed at the patent office gets published.
Okay, sir.
And every Friday, just as trademarks journal comes out every Monday, the patent journal comes out every Friday. So every Friday, you can go and see what are your ideas. And I believe as part of the IP cell, we will be quite happy to share those patent journals with you, because that is the latest ideas which are there in India are available. You can look at all the ideas and study those ideas and develop more ideas. See, it is the minute you see some idea, that itself gives you further ideas for development.
Okay, sir.
All right. Right, guys.
Excuse me, sir.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, Darshan.
Yes, sir. Sir, if I have a patent,
sorry.
Okay, Shivam, you continue. I'll go afterwards.
Sir, if I have an idea and I want to talk to you directly without college, then how can I contact you?
You can. I will ask the college to share. In fact, at the end of this presentation, my contact details are there. It will be there with each one of you. And even after this presentation, anybody who has got a question, please share it on the email. Please, I mean, my WhatsApp is my cell number is also available there. You can call me. I would love to talk to any one of you on technical grounds. You can share whatever ideas you have, and we can discuss these. Not a problem.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, Darshan.
Yes, I'm Darshan. So my question is, if I have a patent and a few companies are using the patent and I'm getting the royalty for the same, so how long would I be getting the royalty? Like till the patent expires, or it's up to me?
Yes, sir. Till the patent expires, it's about 20 years.
And what after the patent expires? Like would the companies
patent expires, it becomes free for all. It comes into the common realm. See, a lot of patents. Otherwise, the whole aspect is that the ideas will not progress. If there was no time limit on these ideas, the whole aspect is that within 20 years, I think it is very rare that if you look at yourself, if you look at ideas 20 years ago, what was technology 20 years ago, and you look at what is technology today, I think most technologies 20 years ago have become obsolete.
Changing every year almost.
Yeah, I know, but at least 20 years ago, technology was become obsolete. Today,
yes,
I think technology becomes obsolete even much faster in 5 years' time.
Yes, sir.
So really, it is as long as somebody wants to use the technology, then it is a challenge for you, Darshan. You develop your technology into such a way you continuously keep on working so that you keep on getting new ideas. You can't rely on one patent application, one idea, and say that I'm going to survive on only this. It used to work maybe 100 years ago. That was a good thing. Today,
yes, sir.
I mean, if you remember, maybe you will not remember. Most of you are too young to remember. In India, we used to just have two vehicles, two-wheelers. There used to be only Vespa and there used to be Lambretta. And that was all. You had a choice to either you go on a two-wheeler on a Vespa or you go on a Lambretta. These were the two vehicles available. Nowadays, there is such a vast amount of choice. Now, therefore, technology itself has developed. Life itself has changed. So 20 years is a long time. So as long as the person is interested in your technology, they will pay you royalty. If they have stopped interest, and at our end we are very fortunate because we continuously get new technologies. We continuously are seeing new technologies growing. For example, I can tell you that in another probably maximum 10 years, by 2030, you will not see a single petrol-driven car on the road. Everything will become either gas-driven or it will become electrical vehicle-driven. And there will be different types of batteries. Today, somebody spoke about Tesla and Elon Musk, which is a lithium-ion battery. 90% of all batteries are lithium-ion. I'm sure different kind of materials will come. Hydrogen cells will come. Different technologies will come, which will make it less and less expensive. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead. Yes, Dr. Sonawne, there are a couple of more questions. I could not see the questions. Can you paste it again onto that? And we'll take the last 5 questions.
So what if the person dies just after he got the patent? Who is the owner of patent then?
He's here. Suppose you die, you have children, or if you have a wife, I mean, whoever is your heir takes it. It is just like regular property, sir. If you have a house, you own a house today, you die, your child will take it, or your next relative will take it. So intellectual property, that is why it is called property. It goes to the next person.
Sir, could you suggest us a good book or some online article or some, a soft book perhaps to, study this in detail, maybe?
I would suggest that the first level, Tanmay, is to go to our website.
Okay, sir, definitely.
R.K. Dewan and Company's website. This is R.K. Dewan and Company, which is
Yes,
there on
sir.
the thing. Go to our website. That itself will be the first level, entry level to IPR.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you, sir.
All right, and thereafter, of course, you can look at there are books. There is huge amount of material on the web that is available, but a lot of that material will confuse you. We have tried to make it as simple as possible for lay people. And if you still have questions, Tanmay, please ask. The only question is you can ask these questions to us, and our team would gladly will answer.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right. Right, Tanmay.
Sir?
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Mohit?
I have a question. Yes, sir.
Yes, Mohit.
So suppose I'm building a product using open source softwares.
Yes.
Like suppose my product involves using 3 open source software. I have no individual creation, but I am able to figure out to use those 3 softwares together.
Yes.
So where do I stand, like making a patent of that product?
Yeah, it is possible. See, the open source software doesn't prevent you from patenting. If you use Linux, for example.
Yes, sir.
It doesn't stop you. Linux doesn't stop you from filing a patent application on their platform. It is their platform. So you can use 3 open source softwares, combine them together and come up with an app, which will be based on that particular thing. Now, it is the way we write that patent application that is important. I'm not going to write anything about the open source, which source, what source. I'm not going to write anything about the source of the platform on which you are writing your code. So, it doesn't make any difference whether it is open source or it is proprietary software.
No, sir. The thing is, I don't have individual creation. Like I have just figured out a way to use those softwares.
Yeah,
I mean,
see, using that software must be in a new way.
Yes, sir.
Using the software in a known way, there is no patent. For a patent to survive, there must be something new in if you are able to use that software to give a technical advantage to somebody. There must be some technical advantage in using that software. So the technical advantage must be it may help somebody to do something faster. It may help somebody to do something which that earlier person was not able to do. Then only Mohit, you will be entitled to get a patent.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Welcome, Mohit. Go ahead.
Sir?
Yeah. Yes, Tejan.
Can you give some time back we were talking about the ideas, patentable and non-patentable ideas. So can you give some examples or distinguish in between both what are patentable and what is not patentable?
All right. Okay. Let's take an
specific
idea. All right. Tejan, an idea, for example, today there is, let's say Hyundai has come up with a different kind of transmission. It is a manual transmission. The latest i20 vehicle has a transmission which gives you the comfort of it is not an automatic vehicle. It is a manual vehicle, but they've eliminated the clutch. I don't know whether you are aware of it. Google it, you will find it, Tejan.
Yes. Sir, that is IMT, I guess.
Yes, IMT, correct. Now the IMT would be a technology that is patentable. Sorry?
Okay.
So that Tejan would be an idea that using an IMT technology that is that is a patentable technology that it didn't belong to Hyundai, it belonged to somebody else. Hyundai has licensed the technology for using it on their i20. Okay. Now that would be an idea. But now let us take another idea where you say that I am able to
Guys, please mute yourself. Karan?
Hello?
Yes, sir, sorry.
Okay. This was a slide that came up about patent searches, but please read through this. See, I just thought that it was more important that I would share with you my thoughts on your various ideas. Now, for example, let us say you come up with an idea that I am able to let us say send messages. I'm able to send a WhatsApp message on Instagram. Suppose you come up with this idea that I can send a WhatsApp message on Instagram. That's also an idea, but such an idea will not be patentable because there is no concept. That concept is a very theoretical concept, and it will not be convertible. It would not. There would not be too much of concept because it is a built-in into program. It's just a level of variation of coding. So that may not be a patentable idea. Maybe there is, but maybe there is not. And so doing that, using Instagram for chatting, for example. All right. Right, guys. Anything else? Dr. Sonamne? Dr. Sonamne?
So is that all?
Sorry?
This is Professor Yogendra Jain.
Yeah, Yogendra, we have reached 5 o'clock. So I thought there was, I think we must have, I hopefully have covered most of the questions of your students.
Yes, sir. This was the first session which you have covered so many questions and all. Thank you for that. I request if someone from the students are having any more questions, they can ask it out, or otherwise I'll ask Dr. Vaijayanti Deshpande to give the vote of thanks. Any students who still have some questions remaining?
Sir, prior to that, I would like to thanks to Dr. Devan sir for providing us such a valuable information, because over a time I was also thinking like, why this patenting is required? Why should I go for it? But now I really realize the importance of it. So thank you very much for showing a right path so that we can patent our ideas and we can even make money out of it. And even is helpful for our career too. Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome, Ganesh.
Guys, I would be sharing the email IDs and all the details of the presentation also with you all. So don't worry about it. I would be sharing it with all the students in all the groups.
Yes, please.
Yeah. So you would be getting all the contents that are there in PPT also, and along with the contact details and email IDs.
Yes.
Hello, sir. Diwan, sir.
Yes, Vaijayanti.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, sir is busy with some meeting. So, no,
go ahead, Vaijayanti. Go ahead.
So, on behalf of Mechatronics Department and IIC Cell, that is Institutions Innovation Cell of our Symbiosis University, I would like to thank you for such an informative session, and it was very, very interactive. And we all enjoyed a lot, and we are actually encouraged to book our idea for the patenting.
Yes,
and explain the entire thing in a very, very simple way. Thank you so much, sir.
Welcome, Vaijayanti. Thanks all of you. Thanks all of you for listening. And anytime, guys, it is a commitment to you. You ask your questions, I'll be glad to answer them. Good day. God bless all of you and be safe.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Good day. Good day.
Good day, sir. Guys, I hope everyone has marked the attendance and filled the feedback form and all. I'll wait for 1 or 2 minutes. If someone has still not copied the link, please open the link that is there. I'll share it again with you all. Please give your feedback form and mark your attendance. And those who have marked their attendance and feedback form can leave the meeting. Thank you.